Okay, so for today's episode, our topic for today, it is all about the leadership. And again, my name is RGE Mendoza and I'm a physical education instructor. So like what I said before class, let's talk about leadership. Okay, so what is leadership? Ano nga ba yung tinatawag nating leadership na yan? So, okay, when we say leadership class, it captures the essentials of being able and prepared to inspire others. Wow. So, the essentials of leadership is to inspire other people or to help them para nang sa ganon ma-inspire o ma-motivate sila na maging leader. Dapat when we say leadership, prepared din tayo. Prepared na mag-motivate ng ibang tao or ng ibang student. So effective leadership is based upon ideas both original and borrowed that are effectively communicated to others in a way that engage them enough to act as the leader wants them to act. So class, when we say leadership, meron tayo dapat variety of ideas. And these ideas dapat makakatulong sa isang tao na kung saan ma-identify o ma-develop sa sarili niya mismo yung tinatawag nating leadership. And then pag sinabi nating leadership, communicated, effectively communicated. Dapat meron tayong communication sa isa't isa. Communication in a good way. Dapat strong yung communication natin sa isa't isa. A leader inspires others to act while simultaneously directing the way that they act. So always remember that, class. Leader inspire others to act. And syempre as a leader, dapat ikaw sinasa puso mo din kung ano yung sinasabi mo doon sa mga ka-member mo. Nakukuha? Hindi ka lang more on words, hindi ka lang na dapat ganito, dapat ganyan. Dapat kaya mo din yung i-apply sa sarili mo. Alternate definition. Leadership may also refer to an organization's management structure. So sa lahat naman ng organization class or sa lahat naman ng grupo na kinabibilangan natin, hindi nawawala yung leadership natin na tinatawag. Simple as this. For example, sa isang classroom. Sa isang classroom, meron tayong class president. 'Di ba? So therefore, siya yung leader. Sa isang grupo, for example, group 1, group 3, group 4, group 5, and so on and so forth, meron isang leader dyan. Hindi mawawala yun. Pero always remember this, na lahat tayo ay leader. Lahat tayo ay leader in our own way or in our own foundation. Okay? Leader tayo sa sarili natin. So that's why we have to act as a leader always. Okay? So that is leadership. So how does leadership work? Paano nga ba nag-work out yung tinatawag nating leadership? So there are people who seem to be naturally endowed with more leadership abilities than the others. Anyone can learn to become a leader by improving particular skills. So highlight lang natin, ano? Anyone can learn to become a leader. Okay, so hindi mo pwedeng sabihin sa sarili mo na ayoko mag-leader kasi hindi ko kaya yan. No, natututunan yan. Once nalilimitahan mo yung sarili mo sa mga bagay na alam mo namang kaya mong gawin, talagang hindi mo makakayanan yung gawin. Okay? Dapat you are ready to improve your own skills, to improve your own self. Dapat you are ready na kung saan ialay mo yung sarili mo or i-give mo yung talagang best mo para mag-grow ka o para ma-develop ka. And then most of the time, kaya hindi natututo yung isang tao o yung isang student because they are afraid to grow. They are afraid to learn something new. They are afraid to improve their own skills. Hindi pwede yung kontento na lang tayo. Dapat we are ready to improve or we are ready to learn something new to become a leader. Okay? So history is full of people who while having no previous leadership experience. So madami yan. Yung may sa mga different histories natin, marami. Maraming mga historians o maraming mga old peoples na may mga achievements na kung saan wala silang tinatawag na leadership. Okay? Pero, na-workout nila yon. Okay? Dahil hindi nila makukuha yung isang bagay kung hindi sila naging leader. Okay? Hindi nila makakamit yung isang bagay o yung gusto nilang gawin kung hindi sila naging leader sa sarili nila. Okay? They have stepped to the fore in crisis and persuaded others to follow their suggested course of action. They possess traits and qualities that help them to step into roles of leadership. Or kung hindi man yung mga historians natin or kung hindi man yung mga old peoples natin or old inventions natin or mga old leaders natin, in our own self, meron kang sarili mong traits or meron kang sariling qualities na kung saan yun yung pwede mong gawing asset o yung pwede mong gawing instrument para maging leader ka o para matawag ka na leader. Okay? So how does leadership work? I-apply mo yung sarili mo. Sa sarili mo rather. Dapat you are ready to learn or you are ready to improve your own skills. Anyone can learn to become a leader. Nasa sa inyong sarili na lang yun. Okay, so that is how does leadership work. So now let's move on to our next topic, which is all about the leadership and management. So class, magkaiba po si leadership and management. So now, didiscuss yan sa inyo ni Sir RG. So class, this is the difference between leadership and management. Sa leadership, may or may not be a manager. So syempre, hindi ka manager dito because you are a leader. Hindi ka tagayas lang, ikaw mismo yung leader. Okay? Sa management na yan, may or may not be a leader. Hindi ka leader, ikaw ay manager. Okay, leadership must inspire followers. Okay, so kung sino yung mga sumusunod sa'yo, or kung sino yung mga students mo, or for example, kung sino yung mga ka-members mo, o yung mga followers mo, you have to inspire them. You have to inspire them to become a better one, to become a better leader din, kagaya mo. Management naman, may or may not inspire those under them. Okay, so hindi dito sa manager, hindi niya ni-inspire yung mga members niya. Okay? Instead, hinahayaan niya mag-workout yung mga yon sa sarili niya. Hinahayaan niyang mag-work yung mga members niya through their own way. Okay? Through their own selves. Next, emphasize innovations. Okay, dito sa ating leadership, we are always ready na mag-innovate, gumawa ng bago, mag-isip ng bago. We have to think something new when we say leadership. You have to think some activities na talagang bago and talagang madedevelop yung bawat isa. Unlike dito sa management, let's emphasize rationality and control. Okay, control. Focus lang tayo sa control. Okay, sa manager, o ang isang manager, once may inutos yan sa'yo, dapat gawin mo. Okay? So, kung ano yung goal ni manager, dapat yun lang yung gawin ninyo. Kung ano lang yung goal ng company, for example, yun lang yung gagawin ninyo. Okay? Always in control. Kung ano yung specific na inutos sa inyo, yun dapat yung susundin nyo. Unlike sa leadership, na you are always ready for innovation. Innovation na kung saan lahat kayo is nag-work out para doon. Hindi lang isa. Pwede kang mag-suggest, pwede kang ikaw mismo na mag-lead sa mga ka-members mo. Unlike dito sa management na merong control. Na si manager lang dapat yung sundan. Okay? Next, leadership may be unconcerned with preserving existing structures. Okay. So this time, si leadership naman, hindi siya ganun ka-focus or hindi siya ganun ka-concerned sa kung anong nagawa na. Okay? O sa kung anong meron before. Mas concerned siya sa mga innovation o sa mga bagong pwede nyo pang gawin. Unlike dito sa management na seeks to work within and preserve existing corporate structures. Kung ano yung nasimulan nyo nung una, i-retain nyo yan or i-maintain Ngayon, hindi na kayo open for innovations or hindi, I mean, open kayo for innovations pero hindi pa rin nawawala yung foundation o hindi pa rin nawawala yung existing structures natin na tinatawag. Next, leadership typically operates with relative independence. Most of the time, yes, when we say leadership, independence. Okay? Ikaw sa sarili mo, alam mong kaya mong gawin yon. Ikaw sa sarili mo, alam mo sa sarili mo na yung mga members mo, once na naging leader yan, kaya nilang gawin yon. Unlike the management, chain naman ito. Typically, a link in the corporate chain of command. Lahat sila dapat sumunod doon. Pag nawala yung isa, hindi mag-work out yung grupo because they are a corporate chain of command. They are linked to each other. Next naman is leadership may be less concerned with interpersonal issues. Okay. Ito naman dito sa ating leadership, hindi sila masyadong focus sa interpersonal mo or sa interpersonal issues mo. Okay. Ang mas target nila dito is yung interpersonal issues mo. Okay? Kung ano yung meron ka, how creative you are, how independent you are, how organized you are, how intelligent you are. Unlike dito sa management, they are concerned with interpersonal issues. As you can see, no, parang ganun lang din. I mean, yung differences nilang dalawa, kung ano lang meron sa isa, yun naman yung wala sa isa. Yung sa isa naman, kung ano yung meron sa yun lang din yung wala sa kanya. So, ganun lang yun, class. When we say leadership lang, para mas mabilis natin matandaan, ikaw mismo sa sarili mo, pwede kang mag-lead. Ikaw mismo sa sarili mo, pwede kang maging leader. Unlike sa manager, laging control, laging merong sinusunod na protocols, laging may sinusunod na structures, laging may sinusunod na manager, lagi may sinusunod na command. Unlike leadership, you are always inspire your follower or your member. You are ready for innovation. You are ready to work independently. Okay, so that is the difference between leadership versus management. Okay, so I have here another definition of leadership and management para nang sa ganun mas mabilis nyo siyang matutunan o talagang mas ma-retain sa utak nyo kung ano ba yung differences ng dalawa. Okay, so the term leadership and management tend to be used interchangeably, but they are not the same. Okay, para lang sila magkamuka or isa lang yung goal nila as yung ma-fulfill yung task. Pero meron siyang iba't ibang way or meron siyang ibang characteristic. Hindi sila parehas. They are not the same. Okay, first one. Leadership requires traits that extend beyond management duties. So, meron tayong mga different traits na kung saan meron yung leadership na wala naman yung management. So, both leaders and managers have to manage the resources at their disposal, but true leadership requires more. Si management, meron lang siyang enough resources. Meron lang siyang enough stocks o meron lang siyang enough goal. Unlike si leadership na kinakailangan pa ng more resources, more innovations, more efforts. Because you are talking about leadership. You are talking about traits. Okay? So, hinighlight ko dito, leadership requires more. So, another difference between leaders and managers is that leaders emphasize innovation above else, where areas a manager seeks to inspire their team to meet goals. Si leader, lagi ang focus niya more on innovation. More on innovation sa sarili mo or sa grupo. Innovation, something new. Parang something different. Inspire in a good way. Inspire to improve their own selves. Okay, ganun si leader. Si manager naman, yes, he or she also inspire other people but to meet the goals. Okay? Ini-inspire niya yung team niya para nang sa gano'n ma-meet yung goals nila. Hindi para ma-develop yung isa't isa. Para lang ma-meet yung goals nila. Okay? So, while following company rules, a leader may be more concerned with setting and achieving lofty goals even the expense of existing corporate structures. So, class, like what I said before, highlight lang ulit natin. So when we say leaders, it is to emphasize innovation above all else. When we say manager naman, it seeks to inspire their team to meet their goals. Next, managers may be more likely to preserve existing structures because they themselves operate within that structure. Okay, so lagi nakafocus yung managers doon sa existing structures na meron sila. Kung ano ba yung goal or kung ano ba yung traits o yung paniniwala o yung tradisyon na meron sila, doon lang sila nagfo-focus. Unlike ditong si leaders, na they are hands-on. Okay? They are often operate fairly independently. Okay? Sa sarili mismo nila, nag-work sila as one. O sa sarili mismo nila, nag-work sila for their own selves. Okay? Manager also may be more likely to preserve existing structures because they meet or they themselves operate within that structure. They may have bosses above them, or so they have less freedom to break rules in that pursuit of lofty goals. Itong si manager, kaya nila masyadong pinipreserve yung existing structures because meron silang sinusunod na bosses. Meron silang sinusunod na company goals or company rules and regulations. Or meron silang sinusunod na rules and regulations or mga do's and don'ts when it comes in the different instances. Okay? Unlike si leaders na sila mismo yung may kakayahan sa sarili nilang decision. They work independently. Wala silang sinusunod na boss, wala silang sinusunod na tao, wala silang sinusunod na rules. They are always open for changes or for innovations like what I said before. That allows them to tolerate a greater amount of chaos. As long as they believe it will be worth it in the end. Okay, so itong si leader, as long as na naiisip niya sa sarili niya ay magiging worth it ito, pipilitin niya ng pipilitin yon. Gagawin niya ng gagawin yon. Okay, kahit alam niyang maraming risk, basta alam niyang magiging maganda yung result, gagawin at gagawin niya ng leader. Unlike si manager na hindi sila pwedeng sumugal kasi meron silang dapat sundin na rules and regulations o meron silang dapat sundin na boss. Okay? Yun ang differences nilang dalawa. Sa manager may sinusunod tayo, sa leader ikaw mismo yung sarili mo nag-work independently. However, the leader's devotion to innovation can sometimes come at a cost. Okay, so si leader is, akala natin madali mag-work individually or independently. Pero, may malaking pressure yon. Okay, dahil chaos and high-pressure work environment can create interpersonal issues. May tendency kasi na maapektuhan dito sa mga leaders is yung kanilang interpersonal. Okay? Or interpersonal feelings or interpersonal traits. Dahil nga sa sobrang pag-work nila as a independent to the point na parang nawawalan sila ng nawawalan sila ng inspiration or motivation din. At the same time, papaulit-ulit na nagkakamali yung decisions nila, papaulit-ulit na hindi nila na-achieve kung ano yung dapat nilang ma-achieve, yung parang nagiging disappointed na sila, naapektuhan yung emotion mo. Okay? Kasi nga, ikaw lang mismo sa sarili mo yung hindi nakakagawa nun. Parang ganon yung dating. When such as issues arise, a manager is more likely to see it as their duty to smooth over problems between employees. Dito, okay. So dito, di ba sa leadership, kaya sinabi ko sa inyo na more on chaos and high pressure because you work independently. Unlike dito sa managers na hindi nila nararamdaman o hindi nararamdaman ng mga teammates niya yung chaos o yung parang disappointment because siya mismo as a manager, siya yung bahala mag-solve nung problem na yon or doon sa mga employees niya. Hindi niya na ini-involve yung employees. Siya na lang yung kinakausap ng boss kung paano yung gagawin or more likely si manager yung yung pinaka-stress. Okay? So leaders can sometimes be so singularly focused on achieving lofty goals when they let interpersonal issues and employee welfare fall to the wayside. Next, so I have here a different definitions of leadership. The first one, when we say leadership, it is the art of motivating a group of people to act toward achieving a common objective. Okay, when we say leadership, yes, we always motivate other people, we always inspire other people. Syempre, meron tayo dapat common objectives. Hindi lang basta tayo dapat motivate, dapat same din tayong dalawa ng objectives. Kung ano yung gagawin mo, dapat yun din yung gagawin ko. Kung ano yung goal ko, kung ano yung vision ko, dapat yun din yung vision mo. Simple as that. Next, organizations refer to upper level personnel in their management structures as leadership. Okay, so meron tayong mga different organizations na kung saan meron tayong mga different personnels. Okay, meron tayong mga different management issues or management structures when we say leadership. Next, to be an effective leader in business, you must possess traits that extend beyond management duties. So, syempre, di ba, meron tayong existing structures when it comes in management duties. So, therefore, meron lang specific traits na dapat na ipakita yung isang manager. So, ikaw, para maging effective kang leader when it comes in business or when it comes in the outside world or in the real life instances, dapat mahigitan mo yung traits na yon. Dapat mahigitan mo yung attitude na yon. Okay? So, next, leadership skills can be learned and leaders may evolve. Leadership always, parang ganito na lang siya. Tandaan nyo, when we say leadership, it is continuous learning. When we say leader, you have to continuously learn. Okay, dapat paulit-ulit kang natututo. Dapat nag-evolve ka din. Kung ano yung natutunan mo ngayon, hindi yun dapat yung panghahawakan mo. Dahil you are ready for innovations. Dahil nagpapalit-palit yan. Araw-araw meron kang natututunan bago. Simple as that. Ganon din yung isang leader. Nag-evolve siya. Hindi yung kung ano yung nakasanayin mo, yun na yun. Dapat nag-evolve yan every other year or every magkakaroon ng pagbabago, dapat nagbabago ka din. Dapat natututo ka din. Okay? A person may be referred to interchangeably as both leader and a manager, though the two terms are not necessarily synonymous. Pwedeng tawagin yung isang tao na leader, pwedeng isang taong tawagin na manager, but they are different to each other. Okay? Tandaan nyo yan. Meron lang silang ang similarities lang din nilang dalawa. Meron tayong specific goal or objectives na sinusunod. Pero they are different to each other when it comes in their meaning and when it comes in their trait.